Good morning, Frugal family, and welcome back to my channel. If you can tell by the sound of my voice, I am sick. Yes, I got, I guess they call it spring fever. I don't know what they call it. It could be a sinus infection because I was running fever Friday and Thursday and Friday night. But I think I'm on the mend. I think I finally broke the fever and I'm good. This is what I usually do when the kids used to get sick. And I've had some videos, for those of you who remember on TikTok, that I just crock pot a whole chicken. Now, this is me Thursday morning feeling under the weather, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll make some soup and I'll just get over it. Well, I did not get over it. I went home and checked my temperature, and I had 100.7. I don't have my big crock pot anymore. We downsized when we sold our house 3 years ago. So I either gave stuff away or sold it. And then when I started buying stuff to furnish this apartment, I said, I'm not going to buy new stuff. I'm going to buy good stuff. And I found this crock pot on eBay. And I have to tell you the story about that crock pot, but real quick. So I put a whole chicken in there, and that is a good 2.5 pound chicken. So the crock pot was able to hold it. And then in the middle of the day, Bear will come in and just push it down, break off the legs and wings, and get it to fit. So after work, this is what I came to: clean dishes that my husband boiled. Because guess what? The hot water was turned off. Yeah, when it rains, it pours. So there's my chicken, and I like to have it go on high for a good 5 hours, and then I go low and slow for the rest of the time. I'm just going to dig out some meat. I like dark meat. I know a lot of people love white meat. That's Bear's jam. I love dark meat for chicken and rice soups. I just do. It's just so comforting. And it's probably because we were raised eating leg quarters when I was growing up. And so I'm just pulling out some chicken. That broth is just freaking amazing. I thought I had a can of crushed tomatoes, but I don't. So I have tomato sauce, and that'll do. I'm just going to put a couple of tablespoons of tomato sauce in this, and I'm making one of our family's favorite arroz con pollo. And there's Bear digging out the breast meat, and it is just fall off the bone good. And it's gonna keep cooking. That ladle is about a half cup measurement. So if I remember correctly, that was 5 ladles. So that's a 2.5 cup. And that's good. I want it on the wet side. I want it not too soupy, just a little brothy. Oh my God. I think I'm going to make me some more, because I made arroz con pollo twice. Yeah. This is Thursday night, and then I made some for Friday lunch. And it's just my comfort soup when I'm sick. There's some frozen bell peppers, some onion and garlic. Do not forget the cumin. That's what makes this so good, is that rustic seasoning. I'm putting some onion in there and some onion in the pot. So what's going to happen is I got so sick, and Bear started getting sick, that we were too lazy to completely debone the chicken that night. That's okay. We had to go low and slow all night long. And the next day, I pulled off a good amount of meat. I would say 2 or 3 cups worth of meat. And then it's still going. 72 hours is how long I like to have my bone broth go. And yeah, salt, pepper, cumin. You can add rice or fideo. That's vermicelli. But if you're going to do the vermicelli, you're going to have to do this on the stove. You really are, because pasta gets gummy in the slow cooker, or like I'm going to be using my rice cooker feature. And it's got slow cooker feature. It's got saute, it's got steam, but I'm going to use the rice. And oh my God, this is so good. So when I'm sick, this is my go-to. Or pot pie. I have mentioned that I love pot pies, but I'm trying to eat more whole foods, and I just didn't want to go and buy some frozen pot pies. I really got to learn how to do a quick, make some mini frozen pot pies and keep them in the freezer. That's what I got to do. So that's my arroz con pollo the next day. We'll pull out some meat. Now, I am at the stage, because now it's Saturday morning, and now I'm at the point where my stomach hurts. Not out of hunger, but from coughing. That's all I've been doing is coughing. Look, there's a bone. Get that back. It's the only time you want bones in your food is when you're doing the broth. I didn't add any veggies. I didn't have any veggie scraps. And that's okay. We did put some onions and garlic in there. And this is what the outside looks like. Just the noise of them digging and pulling up that concrete. Oh my God. I'm just not having it. But that's my small kitchen. Try to figure out, what do I want to do? Where am I going? What am I supposed to do? Why am I here? We got the hot water going. So anytime I want to wash a dish, I just pour it out. And I'm going to leave the chicken here to cool. And I'm going to make me another pot of arroz con pollo. Just Mexican chicken and rice. And keep those in the fridge. I have rediscovered cooking whole foods. I mean, that is how I raised my kids. And I remember when I started getting followers on TikTok, I think the most I had was over 280,000 followers. I think there was a love of my determination to feed my family however the hell I want. And I think the first video that went viral was the spaghetti in the crock pot video. And coincidentally, we were without water, and it was during the famous Texas freeze. And we had electricity, but we had no water. And so I decided to make spaghetti and in the crock pot, and people lost their minds. But I was in a phase of my life. I just became a teacher. And I had been a teacher for about 2 years at the time of that video. And I was relying heavily, and happily so, on processed foods. Frozen pizzas. What was the other one that people... Oh, Dentimore soups. And I tried to explain... You have to understand, I was... for 40 years, I've done nothing but cook from scratch. I've made homemade breads, homemade cakes, briskets. Bear and I, for our wedding, we made a homemade brine. Let me explain. We literally bought a brisket a month before the wedding. We brined it ourselves and served corned beef brisket for our wedding dinner. I've done all the things. And at the time, I just was trying to figure out how to be a working mom. It helped that I had teenagers. I wasn't a working mom of littles. I was a working mom of college age middle schoolers. And so, I would come home from work and I just didn't feel like cooking. Now, on the weekends, we still had our homemade pizza nights. But then we discovered Walmart pizzas and we were just like, buy them. We're buying Walmart pizzas. And so I just enjoyed the relaxation of Walmart doing the cooking, Pizza Hut doing the cooking, Chick-fil-A. Guys, for years, even for their birthdays, my kids would request Chick-fil-A. That's what it was called, Chick-fil-A. F-A-U-X. I would make them Chick-fil-A. I would brine my chicken in pickle juice and onions, and that was a special meal. I know Evan used to request that for his birthdays a lot. And I just got a lot of flack for, you eat a lot of processed foods. And this is my time. I went back to the old saying, fed is best. Get away from me. I think I needed the break. And then we were empty nesters within 1 year, like all 4 kids. We have 5. But one was living with her mama at the time. And then, so all of them, we were complete empty nesters 3 years ago. Just 3 years ago. We were living in a small apartment, and I was still making casseroles. Because when you've been making casseroles for over 25 years, it's hard to get out of that mindset. Stretch your meat, stretch your food, stretch your this, stretch the recipe. And it never occurred to me, Lisette, you don't have to make casseroles anymore. You don't have to feed a family of 7 anymore. Unless they come visit you and you know what you're going to make. You're going to make spaghetti or meatloaf. You don't have to do that anymore. And for those of you who are new, I went through a 2-year. So 3 years ago, when we gave up the house, we moved into an apartment in Corpus Christi, Texas. That's where we're from. And my health started deteriorating. I became very anemic. And but managed to move my booty to Amarillo to be closer to the grandbaby. And then within a year, we had 2 more grandbabies. Yeah. The girls were pregnant at the same time at one point. And we don't regret that move. It was the best decision we ever made. We were in love with the Amarillo. And my health was just getting worse and worse and worse. But the doctors here were the best. One day at work, I almost fell on a student. I almost passed out. And I remember the principal, she was comforting me. She says, just a panic attack. It's okay. I've seen this 100 times. And I wanted to tell her, girl, I've had 100 panic attacks. This ain't it. I feel like I'm dying. But I didn't say anything. And Bear took me straight to the hospital because he said, are you having a panic attack? I said, no. This is something's off. And finally, one of the nurses came into the room and he said, your blood level is at 4.5. We don't see that level. We only see that level with cancer patients. And I said, oh, well, I've been having bad periods. It took 3 more ER visits for someone to say, stop saying that, you're hemorrhaging. You're not having a period, you're not bleeding, you're hemorrhaging to death. And I'm not going to go into details, but
Who was that?
I eventually had a full hysterectomy. So I was surgically put into menopause.
Oh, wow.
And now I need to go back to basics. I need to take care of my body. What the heck? And this past year, because the 1 year anniversary was about a week ago of my surgery, and I'm a new woman. I've got my energy back. I got my health back. There's a new normal for me. And I'm not eating casseroles anymore. I'm going to eat good whole foods. I'm take care of myself. The struggle is real with working families. And that's what I want to help families with, who are on a budget, a real budget. We're talking food stamps. We raised our kids on food stamps. My husband is disabled.
Why would you
And
make me mad, baby?
we supported our family with me working as a substitute teacher and a student that was getting loans and grants. I remember one grant paying for our Christmas. We didn't know how we were going to pay for Christmas. And then I was checking on my grades, and this was, right before Christmas. And there was an acceptance letter, and it was for $500. And I said, Bear, we got Christmas. And as soon as I became a teacher, we've been doing really well. Bear has always wanted to go back to work, but he is physically disabled. And now he's looking to do, what do you call it? In-calls, outbound calls. I think that'd be nice for him. But, we're partners. Nobody ever thinks of telling a man, make your wife work. He helped me raise kids that weren't even his. And he was a stay-at-home dad. That's what he chose to do. And so we have a wonderful partnership. And now I'm taking care of myself. These hamburger patties are Angus patties from the United here in Amarillo. Good quality patties. I mean, if I was into gravies, you could make a Salisbury steak with those things. They're so good. They're perfect. Don't overcook them. And they're amazing. So I'm making some homemade fries and burgers with mushrooms. That big old blue pot is of my water. That's how we've been cleaning dishes. I'm not giving up this apartment. This is the second time we've had plumbing issues. Do you understand? My rent is $1,000 a month. $1,000.
Lovely.
And I'm gonna have to ask Bear because I forgot. I think we pay like $150 in electric, and I can't remember what the water bill is.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you, baby.
Bear, I ran out of my wheat bread, and I don't like burgers on sourdough. So
No, everything looks great, baby.
white bread it is. Wonder bread. And then I am going to be making bread soon, but let me tell you about my sourdough journey. That's Bear's. Bear likes sourdough, so you can tell that he's got sourdough.
Nice.
So our daughter is the sourdough queen. She can make sourdough bread in her sleep. Bless her. She makes the most beautiful, delicious bread. So I asked for some starter, and it was alive. I mean, it was good starter, and I used it. I fed it, and then proceeded to make some. I made enough for a loaf, and I made 4 pizza dough. Pizza. The dough part. My God, I can't think. And so I semi-baked them, cooled them, and stuck them in the freezer. And then the loaf part, well, I was at the process where you stick it in the fridge, and then the next day you pull it out and you're going to bake it. I pulled it out and got sick. And it's in the dining room. I don't know how to salvage it. And I have starter. I still have the starter, but I don't know what to do with it because sourdough bread is just not my jam. I don't like it. It's just too much. And when I made bread for my kids back in the day, it was in a bread maker. I mean, I just put all the ingredients in and got it going, and then we had bread in the morning. I'm going back to that. I'm sorry. I cannot be doing pulling and feeding and We have electric timers for the cat feed, to feed the cats. I ain't feeding no glass jar of glump. It ain't happening. So that was my sourdough adventure. It is over. And so Bear's trying to find me a really nice bread maker. But I will improve my bread game because back in the day, I just thought I was the bomb for making, whole grain wheat bread for my kids. Well, now I've discovered ancient grains. And now I want to make some because I do have a gluten sensitivity. Not as bad as the dairy sensitivity. Oh my gosh. I cannot consume dairy. And every time I think I can, my body says, you want to bet? And I want to call them lesions. They're horrible sores all over my body. And they hurt and they're itchy and I can't stand it. And so I won't do it. I've experimented with aged cheddar because I was told that if your cheese has been aged for more than 2 years, it's missing the enzymes or whatever that causes the dairy allergy. So, I will use aged cheese sparingly. Other than that, I like the vegan cheese. It really does taste good. I have some Bragg's nutritional yeast in my grocery cart. I'm going to experiment with white bean, making Alfredo sauce with white bean and nutritional yeast to see how that comes out. I'd rather use white beans than cashews. And because it's cheaper, hello. And then I can just make me some macaroni and cheese, anytime I'm craving a cheesy dish, I can do that. And so this is just taking a cheap box of Jiffy. Know your limitations, mamas. Do not kill yourself over things that will have an adverse effect, a far worse effect than good nutrition. I am sick and I'm craving blueberries. I am not going to be pulling out the flour and the baking powder and the sugar. No. I got my Jiffy box. I'm going to mash some bananas and Greek yogurt in it. And some frozen blueberries and call it a day. That's it. Do some healthy add-ins. Like I have some cornbread that I want to make one day, and I'm going to add in some zucchini and squash. Just, you can take those mixes and add some good nutritional stuff to it. If your issue is with time and effort and creativity, then just, focus on the nutritional add-ins you can put into these mixes. When it comes to cake and muffin mix, it's pretty basic. And so I'm not too worried about additives or coloring or whatever. I mean, let's be honest, those Jiffy blueberries that come in the box, they don't look real. I don't know what they are. But I had my own blueberries, so we're good. And these came out really good. So I'm hoping to get rid of this cough, because every time I cough, my stomach muscles are in extreme pain. I might put some muscle cream on my belly. Yeah. I just want to stop coughing. I don't want to cough anymore. And I hope you'll have a wonderful week. And I just wanted to get this out. I actually have 2 videos. They're long, and I'm trying to edit them. And, but this is just the last 2 days, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do a quick edit and send this on its way. Let you know I got spring fever, literally a fever. And I'm okay. I'm getting better. And I hope y'all are doing good. And you're staying healthy. And you're taking your vitamins. That cup in the background, that pretty orange cup, that's my smoothie. I have a smoothie every morning. I have it for the past 2 mornings. But I freeze them, and then as they thaw, I start drinking from it. That's how I get my vegetables and my fruit, in that smoothie. And then if I don't have vegetables in my dinner or fruit, I don't feel so bad, because I've had my daily dose. And that smoothie is amazing. It's delicious. It's just mixed berries, Greek yogurt, banana,
You need a little bit more
a
time,
whole
girl.
carton of spinach and kale, spring water. I think that's it, yeah. And I mix it, and I pour it into 5 or 6 of those cups. And then I just, drink them, and then redo the whole process when I run out. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Guys, why don't y'all remind me I was supposed to put an egg in there? I forgot the egg. I'm too sick to remember these things. Oh. Okay, that's fine. Forgot to put an egg in there. Can't forget the egg. Anyway, it's good.
I could probably handle being sick.
I'm watching a video on YouTube about slow stitching. It's very comforting to me. So I got Bear sick. But my symptoms are that of someone with a spring cold, sinus infection. Bear's gonna have the symptoms of car accident victim. He's dying.
Okay. So your breathing hurts.
I'm hurting coughing because of my stomach muscles. I didn't even know I had stomach muscles.
You can't pronounce the word muffled.
Muffins. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll talk to y'all later next time. Bye.